Hi, welcome to Simply Narelle Stitches, and it's time for my next floss tube, and I have no idea what number it is because I keep forgetting every single time to look it up, but anyway, it's one after the last one. Anyway, today is Monday the 21st of July 2025, and this video is going to have my dog barking in the background, obviously. But it's going to be WIPS and starts and finishes and salves and Monopoly and countdown to 60, lots of different things. So I'm going to run through all my WIPS first, which will include a start and a finish as I go, and a sal, and what I did for the Monopoly stitching from the last round. Then I'll play a round of Monopoly and then go through what the WIPs are for that I'll be stitching, and then go through my plans. Alright, so first one up is I Love Gardening by Dimensions. And this is a really old kit that I've got. This is what it will look like when it's completed. Very 80s sort of look, isn't it? Barbara Mock, I believe, is the designer, and this is where it was when I last stitched it, and this is where it is now. And whoops, there's a bag there, so it's going to be a bit funny. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so in this one I put in a total of 1,085 stitches. So I worked on it 2 different sessions. One was for, well, a few, I don't know what I did in which session, but this is what I stitched it for. In Whip Warriors, the categories for July, the letters are W and A. So I used it for the colour white, because even though I didn't stitch in white, well, I did actually, behind the gardening there, there's white stitches, but there's on the colour chart, the colour says actual white, not just like B5200 or Blunk or whatever. It actually says white, so I could use that. Also, Whip Warriors Scavenger Hunt for Fork. In the picture, there's a garden fork somewhere there, garden fork in this little pot. So I used it for that. And also for the Whip Warriors word game for July, which was a cool crossword puzzle. So I used it for that. And then also magazine monthly cross-stitch challenge group, I think. Their acrostic was, I know the theme was all bundled up. And then I can't remember, I think the acrostic down was winter, so I used it for the E for eggs, because there's eggs in the basket here, and then S for shelf, because everything's sitting on a shelf. So yeah, quite pleased with how that is coming out. And it's on Ada, whatever it came in the kit. It's like a creamy coloured Ada. So that was the first one. And this kit is so old that when I opened it, it still had the needle in there, and the needle had gone rusty. So there's a rust mark where the needle was. But anyway, you're not going to see that. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to change fabric, because by the time, you know, it's framed, that is going to be not seen. That's going to not be seen. Proper good English. And now I can't get this back in because there's stuff in the way. Here we go. Hang on a minute. Oh, goodness. Alright, so that's the first one. I've actually got 13 WIPs to show you. So the next one I call Alice in Wonderland. It's by Bothy Threads, but that's not what they call it. I think they call it... Oh no. Well, I guess I have to get one of my own bags for this one now. I just busted the zip. They call it Through the Looking Glass, and it's Alice in Wonderland. And this is where it was when I started this stitching round. And this is where it is now. So this had all been done. I'm pretty sure the Alice Wonderland was done, or did I do that? I don't recall doing that. I think I did these two flowers, the love heart, and that bit, because I only worked on it once for 305 stitches. So maybe I did the Alice Wonderland, might have been done. I think I did the two flowers, the Alice, I can't remember, but anyway, 305 stitches later, and I used this for scavenger hunt, the clock, because there's like a what do they call it, stopwatch clocky thing there, and also for the word game in WIP Warriors and categories. I used it for the prompt related to humans, because Alice in Wonderland is a book as well as a film, motion picture, and a cartoon and all sorts of different things, but it's also a book, so it's literary, and that is what I use that for. Right, so next, number 3, we have Anzac by Long Dog Samplers, and this is what it will look like when it's done. And this is Anzac is spelt, no it's not, where did I say it was spelt differently? I don't know. I thought it was spelt differently, but yeah, it is. It's got a K and we spell it with a C. Don't worry, I know what I'm talking about. Alright, anyway. Alright, so this is where it was before I started. I didn't really have much on it. I got a little bit more now, but not a great deal. And where did I just fold it and I've hidden it? There we go. Top, that way. Right, so starting the top left corner, and that is what I have now. Oh, and the Alice in Wonderland was a kit, so it was still kit fabric and thread plus. And this one I used for the word game in WIP Warriors. So the word game was a crossword. You had to solve the crossword prompts and then do 100 stitches for each prompt you solved. And you could bulk stitch. So I would put my start photo up, stitch for the night, then put my end photo, and depending on how many I did, how many stitches I did, then I'd go, okay, so this is for these words. So I'd go back and edit my start photo description and put that it's for these words, if that makes sense. Because I never know how much I'm going to get done in a night. Sometimes I get really distracted and get next to nothing. Sometimes I don't like the WIP and it's like a struggle to stitch on it. Sometimes I love it, I get no distractions and just can, you know, go through it really fast. So anyway, this one I used for the word game, and I also used it for this categories prompt of travel, and Australia. I used it for Australia, so because this is Australia and New Zealand, so that fitted quite perfectly in that prompt. And the fabric is, I'm pretty sure that's a Paddock Lane Designs fabric, and I'm stitching it using Felix by Cottage Garden Threads, and I can't find the tag for the material. Pretty sure it was called Granny Apple Green or something like that, if I remember rightly. So, but I definitely Paddock Lane Designs fabric. So I didn't really like this one. I bought it because I thought it was cool because there's not many things out there with Australia on it. But then I sort of looked at it and went, it's a little bit all over the place. Not, what's the word? Yeah, not like neat and uniform. It's higgledy-piggledy, I guess, is how I would describe it. But then, sorry, when I started to get into stitching it more, and I looked at what I did, and I went, oh, cool, that is actually this koala or possum up here, and this one down here. And I went, I can actually identify what they are. So I thought, well, that's going to be fun to stitch. And you can see this little bird here coming through here. So I think I'm going to enjoy stitching it as I go along. I'm going to see things come to life and I have a feeling it's going to make all the difference. Now, I did put this one in iMarker. I only have an iPad. I don't have an Android tablet, so I don't use Pattern Keeper. But I loaded it in iMarker, and it works a treat. So that is really cool. I can throw that paper pattern away now. Alright, so number 4, we have poppies in a appropriate poppies bag. This was from a magazine, Just Cross Stitch magazine, and which one is it? It probably tells me there, but I actually can't read it, and I'll go into that later. But anyway, right, so this is where it was, and this is where I am now. So I got into this one 512 stitches, and I used it for this categories prompt of celebration/seasons, and it's for Anzac Day. So Anzac Day is a celebration of those who fought for our freedom, and the poppies is a symbol of the Anzacs, or any returned servicemen really. So yeah, that one I filled in. This one I was trying to like fill in and then work down, and I've noticed when I'm working on my WIPS, I tend to, like, a lot of them I start in the middle, and I've tended lately to then work up to the top left corner, and I think that's from the influence of doing some full coverages. I like to work now from the top left corner, but because I'd got a lot of this poppy already started, I thought, well, I'll work up to the right, fill that in, and just work around this way, and that top left will be my last section. But there is a fair bit after the poppies. There's all this greenery down here, so yeah. But I actually enjoyed working on this one. It is on a piece of 25 count even weave, and I'm doing 2/2, and I'm just using DMC. That's my go-to on everything, basically. DMC. Okay, number 5 is a Mirabilia. It is the Ankabella, and that is what it will look like when it's done. And I'm this is where it was, sorry, and this is where I am now. So with this one, I had started in the middle down here and then started working down. But like I said, I want to work now up to the top and to the left. So I started working up here so I could get up to the top. That, I believe, is her hair. No, that's whatever that is. Is that her hair? Or is that a... It's her hair, because that's her waist there. Skinny little thing. But that's her hair. I've started there, so that's the start of her arm here, and then I'm going to work up and do her head and this bit, and then work down. So I'll come then once I've done her head and her chest, and come down to the bodice of her dress, then work up to the arm. And I did this for, what did I do it for? Categories, favourite things, apple, because I had to start with an A or a W, so I did apple. And also did this for the word game. Yeah, so, and this is done on a piece of Paddock Lane Designs 18 count Ada, but it's a sparkly one. I don't know if you can see the sparkles. What's the proper name for that fabric? I don't know. Someone will tell me. Anyway, really pretty. Hard to see on, but then it's even harder at the moment for me. So anyway, we'll get onto that when I get to my plans. All right, so that was the Ankabella. Number 6, we have a new start. This one I wanted to start for so long, and it fitted a prompt in one of the games, or one of the challenges, or whatever you like to call them. So I went, well, no time like the present to start it. And it is Cringles by Little House Needleworks. I love this piece. Absolutely love it. And I've seen Carolyn from Silk Stitch was doing it, and she was doing the roof, and that's all I saw. Now I don't know if she UFO'd it and wasn't going to finish it, or what she's done with it. I vaguely remember her saying in a video that she's not going to do it anymore, which is a shame, because I really love this piece. Anyway, so I pulled this out for this category of leisure, and my leisure activity is window shopping. So I thought that fitted perfectly. Oops. Right, so I worked on this, and well, I started it basically and put in 700 stitches on it, and I don't have, I thought I do have what the fabric is. It's on here. Alright, so I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count Belfast linen natural, and I had real trouble with this fabric. I don't know. I mean, I can stitch on 32 count, it's not a problem, but this fabric, I just found it really weird, and I couldn't see the holes properly. All I could see was the X's that are made by the fabric, and it's like, oh my, it was so hard. It took me so long to get these 700 stitches in, but that's what I've got done. So it's just the snow on the rooftop and then the start of the roof. And yeah, this is a hard fabric, and I'm hoping once I have my surgery it will get a little bit better. But all I could see was crosses on it. It was just ridiculous. So anyway, but that is Cringles. So happy to have that started. And I'm just using DMC. I think it calls for WIPS and something else, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere it'll tell me. And I'm just using DMC because there's a DMC conversion. I actually don't know where that is. I need to find that before. Well, I hope I haven't lost the colour chart somewhere. Wait, hold a minute. I need to check. Sorry, without showing you the pattern too much. Oh yeah, it's on the back. Oh no, it's just called for DMC. Okay. I don't know. Must have been thinking of something else. But that is Cringles, and I have, like I said, wanted to start that for so long. Rightio. Okay, number 7. We have Chorus of Angels. Sorry about the dingle dangles hitting the desk. This is an old kit, and it's by Jan Lynn, and that is what it's going to look like when it's finished. This is really big. Like, this finished is 19 by 18 inches. It is quite big. And it's on 14 count Ada, what came in the kit. This is where I was before I started. And this is where I am now. Alright, so this was all done, and I basically just did all this. So that is the start of this one here. And like I said, I want to try and work up and to the left. So I'm going to do this one, then start on that border and work all the way across to the left. And then, I don't know whether I should then do... It'd be really smart, wouldn't it, if I quartered or segmented, that's probably not the proper word, but I cut this up into segments. So I could do like up to here and then work across here at the top and then work all the way down this side and then all the way down the middle and then all the way down. I might do that. But I'll probably change my mind. But anyway. So Chorus of Angels, I worked on it for one night. I did 284 stitches in it, and I used it for the category of mystical and magical, and angels are mystical and magical, so that suited that prompt really well. And this is huge, and the 8 is really stiff. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then the next one is actually a finish. Yes, go me. All right, so this is Glass by the Waterfront. You probably don't need by the waterfront. No, by the water pump. You don't need to see the photo because I've actually got it finished. Yes. All right, and there we go. A finish. Oh, that's so pretty. I love it. So this is by Country Threads. It was a kit. So I did all the called for. So it was the whatever was in the kit, the fabric and the floss. And this fabric is so soft and beautiful to work on. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I put into this a total of 998 stitches. And this was my first Monopoly piece that I needed to stitch. So I did my Monopoly stitching, which I've thrown it away. Can't remember how much it was. Wait, I can tell you. Okay, it was, I needed to do 60 stitches on it. So I kept going after those 60 stitches, and then I thought I've only got like this wing here. I'd already done that wing, I think. I only had this wing here. I'd done the pink. I need to do this wing, a little bit of the bird around here, a little bit here, and then this half stitching. All this had been done. So I went, well, if I just put another, like keep going for that night and then do it the next night, then I can have it finished. So that's exactly what I did. And that's a finish. So this one I will definitely be framing. I won't be paying to get it framed because it's exorbitantly expensive here in Australia. But I'm going to look for a frame and get this framed and on the wall. So it's Australian birds and I love it. So why not? So that is a finish. So excited. Yay. Really, really pretty. So I can wipe that off my WIP count now and de-kit all that up. But then of course my WIP numbers don't change because then I had a new start. After that, I started the Up on the Rooftop sale by Fat Quarter Shop, and this is happening now, and I'll put the details in it in below. But the first section was released, and this is it. It is a beautiful Christmas stitch. It calls for 14 count black Aida or chalkboard Aida, but and it also calls for 2 strands, stitch it in 2 strands of Classic Colourworks, but they also give a DMC conversion, and I'm using DMC. So this is an 18 count piece of white Aida that I dyed myself to make grey. So mine is a lot smaller than the 14 count, obviously, because I wanted it more like a ornament size. So it depends how big it ends up, whether it becomes an ornament or I'm going to do a stand up or something. But I'm thinking an ornament. If not to hang on a tree, then maybe hang on our hall stand or something like that. So, but that's it. Ho, ho, ho. Now, for the DMC, they call for, it's not B5200. They call for 3865, but I wanted the white to pop more on the grey. So I'm doing B5200 for the white. And then the pink shadow around the lettering is 3831. So that's really cool. So the next time I come back will actually be 2 weeks time. So you'll see the next 2 sections for that. But yeah, like I said, all the details for the stitch along will be in the description box below. It's not too late to join up. And yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful pattern. Okay, next we have mason jar lineup, and somewhere is the picture. This is a dimensions kit, and that is what it will look like when it is finished. It's so pretty. Oh, the more I look at it, the more I like it. It's just really pretty and delicate. So this is where it was before I started stitching. And that is where it is now. So this one I got 242 stitches into it. Oh, I didn't say that up on the Rooftop sale. That's 722 stitches in that ho ho ho. Yeah, but this one 242 stitches, and I put in the more of these stems, the purple of the flowers here, and a little bit up there. So not a great deal, but, and I did this for Whip Frenzy, and I think it was also Monopoly. I think it was also one I needed to do for Monopoly. Let me have a look. Yes, I needed to do 160 on it for Monopoly. So I did it for that as well as Whip Frenzy. So Whip Frenzy in Whip Warriors group is a weekend event. I think it goes Thursday to Sunday, I believe. And it's work on as many whips as you can, doing either 100 or 200 stitches per whip. So that's fun. Get a bit of work on a lot of whips. Okay, the next one is Follow the Leader. I'm getting through these quite quick. If I go too fast, just pop a comment below, let me know. Okay, so this is Follow the Leader. This is a really old, I believe this was a kit. Yes, this is a kit. Artwork by MJ Hummel, I think it is. And this is just so cute. Really old fashioned. I don't know what they use by. No, the copyright date is. But it says 3 of Sister M.I. Hummel's timeless children and a puppy friend line up to start their favourite children's game. So, no copyright date. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Alright, so this is where it was. And that is where it is now. So what did I work on? This little girl here, I worked on getting her sleeve in, and then started on the basket and the flowers that are coming out of the basket and the greenery. So this one I put in 479 stitches, and I do this for Monopoly and also Whip Frenzy. Yeah. So this one I've done everything at the top, and now I'm just going to work my way down. So I'll probably complete her and the basket and then move across and finish this little girl. What is she wearing? Oh, she's got a little pinafore on with flowers. Oh, that's cute. Alright, so yeah, I'll do that, finish that, and then come over here and then work my way down. That's Follow the Leader. Two more to go. Right. Then, wait, I need a drink. Okay. Next was Winter Queen by Mirabilia. And I did this one for a couple of, sorry, I got terribly sidetracked on what I was going to say then. This is where it was. Oh my dear. Alright, and this is where it is now. So, this one, I did 188 stitches. I did it as part of Whip Frenzy, as well as Magazine Monthly Challenge they changed the name of the group and it's thrown me out. Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge Facebook group. There we go. I did this for W in the acrostic and also for the main theme of Cuddle Up, because winter, cuddle up. And this I'm doing opalescent. There we go. It's just come to me. Oh my goodness. I am doing this on a piece of, is it going to tell me? Right on the back. Belfast opalescent in white. Is it going to tell me anything else? No. 32 count. Here we go. So I did, I couldn't do any of the white. I did this purple up here and that purple there. And that is all I could get done. And definitely with my eye issue at the moment, the white stitching is not going to happen at all. So anyway, right, now one more to go. Oh, I'll just put that in there. I don't want to fiddle around too much and waste your time. All right, last one. Last WIP I have to show you is Arnet's. Whoops, wait. This one, this bag, when I made it, I didn't put it for sale because I put the zipper in around the wrong way. So I went, okay, that's a me bag. I like making mistakes every so often because then I actually get a bag. So I make them all, but don't keep any. Anyway, so this is Arnet's. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And this is on black fabric. So this needed the white towel on the lap up to the table so that I had something behind it that I could see. And I am so surprised I could actually stitch on this. All right, this is where it was. And that is where it is now. All right, so I put in on this one, I worked on it twice. I put in a total of 840 stitches and I used it for WIP Frenzy. So WIP Frenzy, you can't repeat a WIP. So I used it one night for WIP Frenzy and then last night I just stitched on it because I was enjoying stitching on it and I wanted to get the pot finished. So I just kept going. I went, oh, well, I'll just stitch on it. All right, so I did, some of these up here were done, but I did the pop, the rest of these wheat sticks, the branch that it's on, and this little bit down here, a little bit of the green up here, and a little bit in here. So that is coming along nicely. And I'm hoping, where's the picture? So I only have left probably a third. So I have to finish this bit down here, a bit of the tail there. I've done that down to where the letters start coming in. And then a few little stitches in the biscuit that it's holding. I've done all that down there, put in the famous and a bit of this bit, and then it's just the biscuits and this. That is going to take a while. That is a lot of red stitching in there, and then obviously bring the border down and do the border across. So anyway, right, so I'm going to leave that there so you got something to look at while I have a chat. Right, so they are all my WIPs, and that was a lot of stitching. Now I needed to do another round of Monopoly because I had completed all the Monopoly stitching that I had from the last round, and I needed to clarify. I was a little bit confused when I was trying to work out the rent stitches, and I was saying that I need to times it by 10 when they land on a property if it's already owned, but I'd already done that because when I realized, like, one of the first ones I landed on, the first brown ones, I only had to do 60 stitches, and I go, well, that's not much. And then I went back and had a look at the actual card for the property, and rent is only $6. So that's why the stitches I need to do was so low, because I'd already times it by 10. So yeah, that's to clear that up. That's fine. So because I did all my Monopoly stitching, then I'm going to do another round of Monopoly, so I have new projects to work on for that. So I'm going to go away now and let's play a round of Monopoly. Okay, time for the next round of Monopoly, and I have written everything out in a nice document so that I can keep track of everything and know what I'm doing. And I've got everyone in the places that they were, and I'm doing this a second time around because I did just film this and then forgot to press the record button. So anyway, yeah, doing it this way rather than overhead because I can sort of move around the board a bit better. I can't fit it all in the way it works on my desk, so this hopefully will be okay. So I'm going to go in order of the players. So I'm first. I'm the barbecue. Oh, you get to see all the other junk on my desk. Anyway, yeah, so I'm the barbecue and I'm currently on chance. So I just rolled 9. Can't count. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? I was trying to... Wait a minute, where was I? Where was I there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, Phillip Island. Okay. Next is hubby, and he is the hat, currently on Perth Airport. And he's just rolled a 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have my son, who is the car. He gets 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, my first victim. And then my daughter, who's the Kookaburra, currently on Alice Springs, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. And then we have the dog, currently on Perth Airport, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. And I'm going to go first time you land on something, you buy it. So, and the cat is the kangaroo, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. Oops, sorry. I've got 2 people paying rent first time up. Cool. All right. So I will work out what WIPS I need to stitch on and how much I need to do, and I'll come back. Okay. So now like I showed in that round, I made a nice little sheet so that I stay on track. I've already had to make a change on it because glass by the water pump was for the 2 brown properties to start with, and I've already finished that project. So I've now replaced it with Arnets with this one. So if anyone lands on Darwin or Alice Springs, then I'll be stitching on this. It'd be nice if they had to stitch, but no, they don't stitch. Imagine the cat and the dog. Oh my god, it all end up with big chew marks in it. Anyway, so right now the WIPS I need to land on, and I need to stitch on, and again it's only 3 because we had several land on the same property. And again we've got is that right? Hobart, wait, yes, wait, Hobart, and yeah, because all right, so we've got 4 different properties this time around. 1, 2, 5, but 3 people landed on the one property, and then 2 other properties are in the same colour. So Freycinet National Park and Hobart are the same colour, so that's the one WIP for that one. So the properties, no, gosh, the projects I need to stitch on are Anne Morrison, and I'll pop a photo in here of that one, and I need to do 460 on that. Mason jar lineup, again, because it was last week's as well, or last fortnight's as well. I've got to do another 180 on that. And then the third one is copy break, so I have to do 150 on that. So if you're playing along and you want to stitch the same, then in the description box below I will put down what colour property is, like what property it is, the colour of it, and then or do I just do, you tell me how you want me to do it, or you're not going to play along, that's okay, you just listen to me ramble. But if you want to do it the same as me, rather than having a million different projects, you have one per colour group, then maybe I will put the pale blue properties, then you need to do this many stitches, something like that. Okay, if you want something different, let me know. But okay, so that is Monopoly. Now my plans going forward, I need to turn the page. So my plans are to do my Monopoly stitching, and then there's only one event besides the scavenger hunt and with Warriors. There's only one event going on the 25th to 29th of July, and that's the Strident Sale. So for those 4 days, I'll be working on I'll be home cottages and trying to see how much I can get done on July's cottage. Is it July? Hang on, yeah, July's cottage. Is there 3 or 4 across in my thing? Can't remember. It's either June or July I'll be working on, or is it August I'm starting? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, it'll be that one. And then I'm going to work on or focus on finishes, because back in December last year, I saw someone, and I don't know who it was, Black Ribbon Studio, Black something, I can't remember, but she put up a challenge. She is going to do 50 finishes by the time she turns 50 in a couple of years' time. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to do 60 finishes by the time I turn 60. Yeah, okay. And then I did maybe 1 or 2 finishes and then forgot about it. But I thought, well, that's a really cool goal to have, and it means that I'm going to get lots of work on my WIPS, and it focuses me on what to do. So I went through all my finishes from when I said or declared that goal, countdown to 60 I called it, and this was in December 23. Okay, so I thought, that's okay, I've got 3 years till I turn 60. I'm turning 60 next year, so I've got until August next year to do my 60 finishes. So I thought I'll go through all my finishes I've done since December 23, and I was really surprised that I had more than I thought. I've actually had 21 finishes, so that is pretty cool. But that means I have 30 odd still to go, and I started listing out the ones that I thought I could achieve by August next year. So that's over 12 months. That's like 13 months. So we'll see how we go. So that is my focus now. I was going to focus on a couple of my older projects and get them done in the year, but now I want to focus on the ones that I think I'm more likely to get finished. So wish me luck, fingers crossed. But saying that, it'll be August when I come back for the next video, and August is my birthday month. So in my birthday month, I want to start all the things. So that's not going to help me with my finishing. So I have a lot of things that I have kitted up. I've got fabric for, and I thought, well, I'm going to start as many of them as I can in August. So yeah, when I come back in August, it'll actually be the day of my birthday, my next video. So I'll have some things already started. Fingers crossed. Now saying that, that all depends on my eyesight. Now I have been struggling the last couple of weeks with blurry vision. I went to the optometrist and went, I need new glasses. But then the week beforehand, before I decided that I needed to go get new glasses, I started having problems with my right eye. It was really cloudy, and I just thought I was really tired. And I thought, oh, it'll clear. I just need to go to bed earlier, sleep later, because I don't go to bed till 2:30, get up 9 o'clock. That's not enough sleep really in anyone's language. Sometimes I get up earlier, sometimes I'll wake during the night for an hour or so and then go back to sleep. So I'm not getting anywhere near enough sleep, and I thought that was a problem with my eyes. And after about a week of this cloudiness not getting any better, and I even went to bed super early one night. It didn't help. Went to the optometrist and she goes, okay, that's the start of a cataract. I went, oh, fantastic. So it's actually a diabetic cataract, so it's a little bit different to a normal cataract, and they can come on quite suddenly, which mine has done. So in really bright light, I have a real struggle seeing. Everything's cloudy, and it's like you're seeing through a constant fog. Yeah, so I've got a appointment for an ophthalmologist on the 30th of July, and then we'll see what he's going to do after that. But it probably will need cataract surgery, and I could be out of action for a little while. But saying that, between now and whenever that correction happens, I'm going to struggle to stitch on certain counts of fabric. So like I was saying, that Cringles fabric was really hard to see, and so I think there's going to be projects like that I'm just not going to be able to stitch on. So yeah, it's going to be fun. The pull coverages may not get stitched on until this is corrected, but yeah, we'll see. We can only do what we can do, and it's actually given me more incentive to stitch more, because it's like it sort of hit me that, well, I'm actually getting to that age anyway where my eyesight's starting to deteriorate. I mean, I'm nearly 60, so it's like eyesight's going to deteriorate, and I have so many patterns I want to stitch that I need to get them all started and stitched as much as I can. So that put a bit of a rocket up my backside, basically, to yeah, not spend so much time scrolling overnight, wasting time. It's get into the stitching as soon as I can and stitch till I'm nearly fallen asleep. Anyway, so that is it. I think I've covered everything I wanted to say. So I will be back hopefully the first Monday in August, and yeah, we'll see what I can get done between now and then. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your lovely comments. I love reading what you say. If you're not a subscriber and you like what I stitch, then please give me a like and consider subscribing. And I'll see you on the next video. Until then, take care, happy stitching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.